The Maiden is a Roblox game that I consider very, very disturbing, as there is a myth surrounding the game about a ghost woman, and if you unfortunately see her, it is said that your life will be shorter. You spawn in a grey house. The ambient hum in the background will send shivers down your spine. The game just gives you a very unnerving feel, as the lack of colour will creep anyone out. If you look around, you can find a noose hanging with a stool underneath. It is well known that this is a way to end your own life, so just being here in the corner of the room is creepy. If you actually wait around this area for a while, a disturbing looking face flashes, making you jump if you don't expect it. One of the rooms that follows has a bath placed in the corner. There is no visible toilet apart from this tub, and there is no sink or anything else to indicate that this is a bathroom, so it's just very random. If we carry on the idea of possible suicide, a bath could relate to the location people use when cutting their wrists. In this room, if we stand in this corner, ink surrounds the area and this creature spawns. I have no clue what it is, but it's very disturbing. I waited a while to see if the Maiden would spawn. Luckily for my sake, she never did, as again, if you see her, your life apparently will be shortened. However, this is a clip from YouTube of a confrontation with her. The Maiden is described as a skinny, long, pale woman with arms that swing side to side from her torso. Players have reported feeling strange whilst playing this game, and if you do see her, psychological trauma is said to follow. Also, if she ever talks to you, that means your death is approaching. DayZ's House is a bait-and-switch horror game that has been very popular as of late. It is described as the first build made by DayZ, and it is what they see as their dream home. The place looks pretty normal, but has some very dark secrets under the surface. Right now, it has been updated for Halloween, and the area has an orange look with ghosts around. The house is pretty nice. There's fan art all around, games in the garden, and we can find DayZ's bedroom in the attic. The room seems normal, but we can find pills on the side, and when clicking on them, we are teleported to the game. Is obsession healthy? It's DayZ's birthday, and there are many people around celebrating. Everyone is saying how they love DayZ, and how all they want to do is stay. But the way it's being phrased, like stay, 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 is just very uncanny. We can talk to Iris, and she says something very perplexing. Have you realised that DayZ's Satan incarnate yet? She's saying that DayZ is the devil. She sees us all as toys for her to play with, and that she wants to steal us to trap our soul within the game, so we are with her forever. As this is being said, DayZ watches in the background, almost like she knows what we are talking about. When talking to DayZ, she asks us to stay in the game with her forever, and when telling her no, she starts to crash out and repeatedly shout how it isn't fair. What is going on here? Why is she like this? What secrets does this game have? Jumping off the map, we enter the Upside Down, a flipped alternate reality of the house, which is in darkness. Entering the house now, there are photos on the wall with each one sending you to a different game that starts to paint a narrative. Touching one of them that looks like a mouldy bedroom, we enter the game Mum. We are now in the body of DayZ. Her room is run down, with the wallpaper peeling off the walls and the windows being barricaded. The house at the start is what she sees as her dream home, whilst this is the reality. There are notes written on the wall about how DayZ wants to make a Roblox game, and talking about her birthday. We can leave our room and confront our mother. She's not a nice person, and blames DayZ for the terrible life that she leads. She neglects DayZ and wishes she never had her. We go back to bed and enter the game alone. Looking at the notes on the wall again, it seems like her mother has left and doesn't seem to be coming back. There's also a specific note that talks about the ideas for DayZ's Roblox game, taking inspiration from both Birthday Party and Dollhouse, two other creepy Roblox games, and one covers the sexual assault a girl was subjected to that led to her even needing to get a baby aborted, and the other being a house that showed some very dark imagery. Clearly both these games inspired DayZ's house. Leaving our room, we enter the next game. It was so cold. We are in a forest, snow is falling, and the freezing temperatures are too much for DayZ. Walking for a bit, we find a train, with a shadowy figure standing right in front, holding an apple. He seems sympathetic with our situation, and shows DayZ kindness. Probably the first time she has ever experienced this type of affection. As the conversation progresses, DayZ is getting colder, the freezing temperature is getting too much for her, and she's dying, with her speech becoming worse. The shadowy figure offers DayZ a world of her own, where she is in control, where she can do whatever she wants. All we have to do is eat the apple. Our human body is dying. This seems like the only option now. And what does DayZ actually have to lose? She has nothing. Her life was meaningless up to this point. Even her own mother did not love her. Now, DayZ is a god, given powers by this shadowy figure, known as the Cultivator. So now she can create whatever she wants without any limitations. She can make a world where she is loved and cared for. However, Can the cultivator truly be trusted? And is this new life that Daisy leads truly perfect? Another game we could go into is named Idle Chatter, where we are placed in a church, with people sat in the stools. They are saying things like how can this happen, and how they need to stand by Camilla, who is Daisy's mum. We can then talk to Daisy. The event we are at is her funeral. Well, actually she believes it could have been her funeral if her body was ever found, and if her mother truly cared for her. Opening the casket, we find the corpse of Anna. This is Daisy's real name, the one she had when she was human, but after the cultivator gave her powers, she gave herself a new identity. We can also go into the world Pushing Daisies, that sees her standing at her own grave, but this time saying Anna Little. After a conversation between you and Daisy, you can actually fall through the grave to confront the cultivator face to face. However, even though you are your player character, he addresses you as Daisy, and you talk to him as her. He describes Daisy as the pathetic little girl that he saved, and that she needs to get over her human problems, as she's beyond that now. She is a god. The way the cultivator addresses Daisy now is no longer full of kindness, but more authoritative and condescending. He clearly never had the best of intentions to begin with. There's another game you can go into called Generation Loss, that places you in a bathroom with post-it notes on the mirror, that start off nice with Daisy reassuring herself that she's pretty, but after many loops they start to change, saying you're not me and I will kill you, and others saying that he will be mad at me, meaning the cultivator. The stress of being a god is definitely getting to her, and the pressure the cultivator is putting on her is making it worse. The stress has clearly led to Daisy losing her sanity, as if you go all the way behind the main house, above ground, you can click on an apple. This will send you to the game Hunger, where you go on a murder spree, killing the many NPCs that Daisy has made. Also clicking the apple in the kitchen, you'll get sent to the game. You make a fine puppet that sees a giant Daisy overlooking the house with bodies of people around, and if you go in the basement, with each of them having their cause of death and the reason for their deaths. Daisy creates people to later kill them when they talk too much or bore her, as she sees them as toys, the same way we were warned by Iris in Is Obsession Healthy. Also in this place, you can click on a balloon that will send you to an eerie parkour area that ends with Daisy seemingly holding your corpse with your missing posters all over the floor. This is said by the cultivator to be the inevitable end that we will have if we carry on in this place. Trying to believe Daisy is a good person, she will get rid of us like she has done with all her other toys. There's also another secret world you can enter by clicking on one of the black roses on the apple tree. This will send you to the curator's void. This is possibly where he originated from, where he lives. There are many books you can read, but the main thing here I want to talk about is this letter with a rose beside it. The person it is addressed to is My Dearest Camilla, and is written by the cultivator. He knew Daisy's mother before he even met her, so this suggests that the cultivator could be Daisy's real father. Who knows, but this whole narrative is fun to look into and make theories off. There are many other worlds you can enter, but what I covered here is the general story of Daisy's house. I suggest you play it and try to find out more yourself, as who knows what you will find. Jim's Computer is a psychological horror game that plays with the idea of paranoia. It is set in the style of early Roblox, with day one starting in your home. There's a knock at the door with a delivery. This is your computer. There's a chat that is currently down, a shop where immediately Jim can drain his bank account, and the news, where we can get an article about the grand reopening of a chemical refinery. The items are delivered, which we play around with until we grow tired, so we go to bed. Waking up in the middle of the night, the game becomes a bit creepy, with a forced first-person perspective and making you walk slowly. Approaching a cupboard, Jim slowly opens them. However, nothing is inside. After opening the second one, Jim says that he feels safe again. This is what I meant before about paranoia. Jim believes someone might be hiding in one of his cupboards, so he has to check just to see if there isn't. Waking up the next day, the chat app is now usable, and we can buy more useless items, and yet again, read the news. Apparently there's been a sudden disappearance with no evidence of movement, but the police could smell a very pungent smell. After playing with the new items, we go back to bed. Waking up in the middle of the night, we check the cupboards as we are paranoid of the possibility of someone hiding in one of them. No one is there, so Jim feels safe. The next day, the news talks about serial disappearances. So many more people have been going missing, with no evidence, no tips, and no leads. We go to bed, and during the night, as we check the cupboards, the TV starts to play static. We also receive a message on the computer. An unnamed individual tells us to prepare. Prepare for what exactly? The next day, the mayor of Robloxia addresses the missing person incidents and denies any connection to the chemical spill at the refinery. However, with the first disappearance having a pungent smell, it is pretty okay to make that connection. Because of the person telling us to prepare last night, we decided to buy beans, water, and a medical kit, so we have supplies just in case the world ends. Heading outside, a military helicopter also flies by. After, we go to bed. During the night, we check the cupboards just to see if someone is there. Luckily, no one is hiding. Going back to our bedroom, the front door has been left open, shutting when we look. We're sort of inside our house after all. Day 5 and the mayor just declared martial law, meaning the military holds all the power. In the shop, we can buy boards, a hammer, and a black square. Picking up our parcels, we can see the sky turning red. Is this the end of the world? We can also hold the black square. Very strange. Anyway, we board up the windows and go to sleep. Waking up in the middle of the night, we receive another message from the unnamed individual, telling us to keep quiet and stay calm. Opening our cupboards, still no one inside to jump at us. An emergency broadcast starts to play, and the military have declared that everyone must stay inside. We can start to hear someone or something tapping on all the windows. We equip the black square, and it reveals itself as a gun that Jim is using for protection. All the noises overwhelm him, so he puts the gun to his chin and pulls the trigger. Jim's Computer is a very well made horror game that covers a paranoia with you constantly believing that someone is in the house. But there's never a jump scare. Just the belief that someone is there will scare you enough and have you on the edge of your seat. You always expect something bad to happen, but it never comes. Jim just takes his own life as he can't shake the constant feeling that someone is coming for him. The next game is Maddie's Wardrobe, a Roblox horror game that is heavily inspired by the YouTube series Lacey's Games, something that dives deep into the true horrors girls face, like being stalked, childhood abuse, and being taken advantage of. Whilst those videos are very dark, this game is far more light-hearted and takes inspiration from the first episode, Lacey's Wardrobe. We first have to dress Maddie up for the park by going through different hairstyles, trousers, tops, and accessories. We head to the park and it seems like we are being watched. Luckily, it's not as creepy as Lacey's Wardrobe. Taking control of Maddie, we walk through the park, being catcalled by a group of boys with awful riz, something that often happens to women even when they don't want it to. We also walk past a very toxic couple, then some cute bunnies, then a couple of boys and their mothers. Finally, make it to the picnic with 2 of our friends. We then sit down and have to read so much yap. Like so much yap, it's crazy. I then started getting flashbacks to another game, so I checked the creator. They also made Life's Purpose, another pretty good psychological horror game that I covered, but that too had so much yap. Anyway, the conversation takes the topic of hoping the guy Maddie is seeing later is not a creep. And I'm sorry to say, but I don't think we're going to be so lucky. We then talk about bunnies and how they are considered prey. A monster has spotted a very cute bunny. Its hunger grew fierce, eyes wild and running. Some bunnies are weak, they are not meant to survive. This bunny is weak, she accepts death has arrived. It's time to dress up for the ball, but wait, there's a phone call.
Maddie, I can't wait to see you, Maddie. I'm so excited, Maddie. I'm coming tonight, Maddie. Tonight, Maddie. Bye-bye, Maddie.
The same thing happens in Lacey's Wardrobe. It seems the person we are going to meet is a very disturbed individual. He seems to be the man from before, as we can see him peering in from the window behind. We head to the mall and walk past many groups of people. 2 guys are doing a very awful roast battle. A group of girls gives us a very judgmental look, and we see Albert dancing with Optimus Prime, as you do. We then meet our friends yet again, and more yap ensues, with the conversation just being about Islam for a solid 5 to 10 minutes. What does this have to do with the game, man? Anyway, we head home to get dressed for our date. It seems like they are already here, banging on the front door. We go downstairs to investigate. An Undertale battle begins against the creepy dude, and we have 4 moves. We can Dempsey roll what is a boxing move that is actually used in Hajime no Ippo, but it fails. So we try to distract him with a Fortnite emote. Okay, that didn't work, so let's try and reason with him. Well, fine. A nice kick in the testicles will work just fine then. A monster has spotted a very cute bunny. Its hunger grew fierce, eyes wild and running. Some bunnies are weak, they are not meant to survive. This bunny is different, she will do anything to stay alive. Hide in the house to survive. Listen carefully, and don't let him sneak behind you. We need to get into the house, but it's locked and needs a gold key. We can find a dirt mound behind the house, and also need a shovel. The area we are in is the same one from before where we played as the bunny, a forest that spreads far. Looking around the place, we can start to find boxes that need specific keys or items. However, the man is around, and we can hear him trying to get us from behind. Looking at him makes him disappear. We can find a green key and a red key lying around, and even a rock and a water bottle. Using the red key, we can unlock a box that gives us a stick and a shovel. The stick we can use to get the pink key down from a bird's nest. This lets us unlock a box and get a carrot. Digging up the dirt, a rabbit comes out of it and we trade the carrot for the golden key, allowing us to hide in the house. However, the man is right behind us. Friends stop him before he manages to grab us. We are safe. A far better ending than what Lacey faced with how she was both killed and eaten by the stalker. The game ends with another yap session, but this one is important. Maddie talks about how being a girl sucks. They are meant to be pretty, which is hard enough, but when they are pretty, their lives turn into a horror game, as men now want to take advantage of them. They have to carry the baby for 9 months, even though men are far stronger. They also get periods. It all seems pretty unfair. Something my girlfriend says to me that is so simple and so true is that men are scary, and unfortunately most are. Just by women existing and living their normal life, loads of men will still try to harass them. All in all, this horror game is really creepy as it shows the reality a lot of women may face due to the cruel world we live in. Finally, let's talk about Dress to Impress. In my first ever Roblox video, I covered the hidden horror lore this fashion game had, with Lana the nail technician, with how within the game there are secret rooms you could enter, and Lana's creepy face was all over the place. Also, all the secret games you could play that go deeper within the lore of Lana, as the leader of a secret cult named Sodade that is combating some sort of evil, and how the one in the base game was a doppelganger. However, since then, a lot has changed. Lana has switched with another nail technician known as Lena, and you can find her trapped in a cage in the basement. But now, the Halloween update has come out, and with it, so much lore! There is now a 3-chapter event where you're able to dive into Lana's past and the potential future for the creepy story Dress to Impress has. Let's start with chapter 1. We are in the middle of the forest. The weather is awful. It's raining and incredibly windy. Our objective is to find Lana's childhood house, and we have to navigate this forest searching for it. But are we alone? We can hear footsteps of something that seems to be out here. Are we being followed? There's a timer at the top, and as it gets lower, your heartbeat starts progressively getting faster and louder, and as the timer runs out, you lose. So within the 2 minutes, you better find the house. Getting to the house, a young Lana starts to talk to you. She talks about a certain man that has apparently poisoned her, meaning she is no longer free. She then tasks us to find 6 different items. They are all pretty normal, except a Greek Tales book. However, when searching for these things, we are not alone. A 2-headed creature roams her house for some reason, hunting us down. Around the house, there are keys that we can find that will unlock certain doors, which in turn has these items we can collect and deposit into Lana's suitcase. Like I said though, the creature constantly hunts us down, trying to prevent us from doing so, even blocking the stairs at one point, making it hard to get to Lana's room. However, one random player managed to stun it, and it was trapped upside down within the floor. Outside Lana's room, we can see a family portrait that gives us a closer look into her home life, before everything went wrong. After collecting all the items, Lana is taken away, seemingly against her best wishes. This van is taking Lana to where chapter 2 is located, a correctional facility named Homes of the Doves Medical Care. However, it is now run down, glass and cobwebs everywhere. We are told to find 6 map pieces that are hidden around the hospital, but this is not as easy as it seems. A cursed nurse roams the hallways, hunting us down, similar to the creature from chapter 1. You can hide in lockers like how you do indoors. I found this kind of useless and just run around avoiding the nurse. On the walls, we can see that the crayon writing switches between nice messages to saying stuff like you're trapped, as that is the truth. In 2 of the rooms that we find map pieces, we can also find some other stuff that helps us learn more. In Lana's room, we can find her diary. It has several entries that talk about this mysterious man again, someone who gave Lana an apple, and now she has things crawling inside of her stomach. The reason she has been sent to the medical ward is because Lana has been spreading the story of this evil entity and is believed to be mad. Lana acts out a lot, but in her downtime, she is researching this entity by reading her Greek Tales book just to find out more about him. At the hospital, she befriends a nurse named Julie, but over time, she starts to get aggressive. She is turning, being corrupted by Agamemnon, the person that has been torturing Lana, meaning Julie is the nurse we see roaming the corridors. According to Greek mythology, Agamemnon was the king who commanded the Greek forces during the Trojan War and seen as the hero, so I wonder why he's become a dark evil entity that haunts Lana, or even if they correlate. The journal ends with Lana being discharged from medical care and Julie not being able to recognize her anymore. There is also a camera in this room that has multiple pictures, but as you go through them, you see what looks like Lana's doppelganger looking over her as she sleeps, and an image of her shadowy figure. Now in the main office, we can also find a tape player that has recordings of Julie. These all show the down spiral of her psyche, as well as the terror Agamemnon unleashed on the hospital.
Right, it's May 12th, I think. My mind feels hazy some days, and I'm starting to hallucinate that someone's watching me while I sleep. I'm scared to tell the senior nurses. I don't want them to think I'm crazy. He revealed himself to me today. He He said that he's going to make me suffer. If me turning into a monster will satisfy him and protect her, then so be it. I'm sorry, Lana.
We escape through the medical wing whilst getting chased by Nurse Julie, leading us to the final chapter. We seem to be back in the Dress to Impress lobby, but it's all broken. Serena, a clothes designer, tells us how Lena has gone crazy and is working for Agamemnon. Lana is also trapped here by Lena, so we need to go save her. However, the problem with that is that to get to Lana, there is a death maze, and I hate mazes. Luckily, this one is designed for toddlers. There is a red mist that we can see on the floor telling us where to go. So we traverse the maze, dodging all the death traps, and get to the courtyard. We find a girl named Haley, and she's a bit irrelevant, but Lana is caged with a doppelganger beside her. Lena reveals herself and calls upon Agamemnon for his powers. This starts an intense battle with the coolest backing track ever. Lena transforms into some black tentacle ink monster thing, definitely heavily inspired by Doors. This whole thing was heavily inspired by Doors, but I move on. We have to defend ourselves against Lana's doppelgangers and evade attacks from Lena. Eventually Lena will come down from the stage and tornado attack until grown weak, giving an opening for attack. This is when we take her down and save Lana. Returning to the normal Dress to Impress game, Lana is back where she rightfully belongs, at the nail technician booth. However, is this the end?
What? You didn't think this was the end of our little story, did you? No. It's not over until I say it's over. Not even the almighty gods of Olympus can stop what is to come. My dear Lana, we shall meet each other soon enough. With love, Agamemnon.
So there you have it, 5 more of the creepiest and disturbing games you can find within Roblox. Go ahead and play them, see if you get scared. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more in the future. Keep on living, have a damn good day, and bye for now.
Bitch dance and throw that ass up, blood so big I can blow your ass up.